Detective Lieutenant Gregory D. Blade, the Ecorse Police Department.
When you're ready.
Okay, basically, in regards to the female and the being recovered in the city of Ecorse after a kidnapping, I conducted a interview Saturday with the young lady, and during the interview, there was a lot of questions that couldn't be answered, and I don't think the young lady was being very truthful with me doing my investigation. Myself, along with Officer Graham, was in the room with her, and at one point during the interview, she told me, "Wait a minute, I'm confused." And I just figured if you're telling the truth, you don't get confused about telling the truth. You can tell the truth every day, all day. So basically, myself and the director, Mr. Moore, we actually put her in the vehicle and drove her back to the location, trying to determine if we could find out exactly where she was and if in fact she got the dog when she was in the city of Ecorse, because she had a puppy with her the whole time. And one of the things she stated was that they stopped and went inside of a house and got this puppy and gave it to her. It was determined later that she wasn't telling the truth. We drove her around, the city, basically in that area. We viewed everywhere that we thought possibly she could have been put out of the car, or backyards that she might have ran through. And it was determined that I don't think this incident actually took place in the city of Ecorse.
Did you say that to her at some point? Then did she confess to
Actually, a confession was given to Monroe County Sheriff's Department, which I believe they interviewed her Sunday, so the day after me. Actually, we just took notes on exactly what she was saying, trying to understand the validity and if she could actually help us identify her assailants, which at some point she couldn't really tell me if the guy had blue eyes or green eyes. And I just thought that was kind of hard to believe if you're standing looking at somebody close and personal.
So there are obviously reports that she was seen jumping out of a moving car. What about that?
Well, that was a statement that she made herself. We wasn't able to determine what type of vehicle she exited from.
So you never received a call from a 911 call saying?
No, she was seen by Ecorse citizens standing on the corner. And a citizen stopped to help her, and then they called the police, and that's how we had contact with her after that.
And so then she said she jumped out of
Yes.
the car.
Yes.
So a citizen did see her then?
Yes.
Okay. So are charges being brought by you or Monroe against her?
From my understanding, the Monroe County Sheriff will be talking with the prosecution, and myself and the chief has determined that he wants to also pursue charges here in Wayne County for filing a false report with the city of Ecorse.
Do you have any idea how she got from where she was last seen in Monroe County all the way to Ecorse? If she left her car?
It was stated that the kidnappers drove her out here with her head being covered up the whole time, and then that's where it comes from, her going into a home, or one of the kidnappers getting out of the car, going into a home and coming back with a puppy, and gave her a puppy and told her something about, this is to keep you company.
Not true, and you have no idea really how she got from point A to point B.
Absolutely.
And so you guys want to file your own charges here out of Wayne County. Is it because you want to get reimbursed for the
Yes,
money?
a lot of manpower was extended, a lot of time. We truly wanted to help. we truly wanted to bring these guys to apprehend them, to bring them into justice if that's what actually transpired. But we could only do that with the help of her, giving us good, valid information and good, valid descriptions, and it just a lot of her story didn't add up to me. It didn't make sense.
So how much do you think it cost your department for the search?
Well, I was talking to the chief, and we extended quite a bit of manpower. Even himself actually took part in riding around, actually with me in the car, trying to locate maybe this area. So we were discussing that earlier about what the city what the expenditures were, but we don't know for sure, until we tally everything.
Thousands of dollars.
Possibly.
Easily.
Money that you guys do not have in a cash-strapped city.
No.
And obviously, a lot of attention was put on what was going on. Do you think it had anything to do with, we've got a girl in Armada who was killed. We have no idea who did that. We're still searching for a killer. I mean, do you think that is why this got so much publicity? And did it take away from resources from a real crime?
It possibly did, because you got real crime and real victims out there, and whatever the motive may have been for her to do this or come up with this story, conducted. I mean, after you get in depth in interviewing, normally the truth is going to come out. Eventually, we're going to find out exactly what the situation is.
And if you talk to her parents, I mean, they must be mortified.
I feel bad for the parents, to be honestly. They seem like great people. I mean, they seem understanding, but I just couldn't imagine what they're feeling right now.
Describe how this makes you feel, knowing you've spent all this resources, all this money, all this manpower. I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
It is. It's frustrating. I mean, because when we're out there, we're trying to do the best job we can, and I mean, we need to express that. I mean, if you make a false statement or tell the police something that's not true, you can also be charged, with making that false statement.
How many people or how many officers did you have that were working this particular case that may have been on the streets? Were you strapped, covering your own city? Well,
actually, a lot of times the city of Ecorse might only have 3 to 2 officers working, and myself, I'm the lone detective here, the only guy that handles investigations. So yeah, it took me away from doing my work, But in the end, we found out the truth, and I mean, when you really think about it, that's what really matters.
And when do you expect to have a report to the prosecutor's office? When do you expect to find out whether charges will in fact be filed? Is there a timeline for that?
Well, I'm going to be talking to the prosecutor's office, so I'll tally up and do a report to them and find out exactly what they want to do. And I would probably say within a week I would have some information.
Will you wait to file a report after Monroe kind of takes the lead on this, or will you kind of piggyback on
Yeah,
okay.
Because Monroe is the initial department that she went to at first, so they would be handling the main investigation. Basically, the city of Ecorse would be just filing a false report against us, and we would be probably concerned about maybe what we spent in manpower and the investigation itself.
A person on average that files a false police report, not this particular case, but in general, what does someone like that face in criminal time?
Well, you could be charged with a felony for filing a false report. Yeah.
Because I'm going to move the mic to the chief for once. Doug, you want to move too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Chief, I just ask you the same question, but from your perspective, out on the street in Catalyst, your frustration level now must be up there.
Well, my frustration level was very high because, we're in a cash-strapped city, and we've got a transition advisory board, we've got a mayor and council, and we've got a miserly controller in there that watches every penny we spend, and we can't really afford to spend any dollars unnecessarily. And this costs us quite a bit of money to undertake this investigation. we had Lieutenant Blade out there. We had all our resources out there, and we were canvassing the neighborhood and such. And this was a vast undertaking for us.
When you were driving around with her, when did things start to click? This is not making sense.
It started to click that it's not making sense from the time we found her. We've got some good people here. Lieutenant Blade, being a seasoned investigator, he's got 25 years of service. We've got Officer Celeste Graham, who was an investigator before she went back on the road. Red flag started going up with her immediately, and she worked this from the beginning all the way through. And we were very impressed with her, and she stayed with young Hayley all the way through. She went with the examination, and then she was there the next day when she came back to do the interview. Officer Graham, along with Lieutenant Blade, did the interview when I sat in with the parents and talked with them. And it's just that we just got a dynamite staff here and some just top-notch investigators.
And
I
what
couldn't
about
be prouder.
to the community? I mean, there's a lot of fear. Someone's out there. I mean, what do you think about what her allegations did to your community?
Well, that was kind of unfortunate. And you mentioned before about the young lady in Almeida, and I mentioned that to the parents. I felt that was also kind of strange when I mentioned that one of the first things I do in the morning is I come through and I check the news. And I checked all through the national news, and I checked the majors here in town. And you saw Hayley there, and then the young girl in Almeida. It seemed to intrigue them that it was getting so much coverage.
The parents?
Yeah.
So, alarm went off to you. I mean, were you worried that we could have had, when you heard that there was a missing girl, that there could have been a serial something out there? I mean, were you guys concerned that that's what
Not
was
at first.
on?
No, not at first. It was strange to me that she wound up in Ecorse, because this is such a nice community. It was strange that it wound up here, and you almost couldn't believe it. And when they told me she was here, I had to go and check and double check and triple check just to make sure.
Did she say in your conversation with your detectives or yourself, of all the cities she picked Ecorse?
Well, there's certain things I can't divulge right now, but they weren't looking for Ecorse. This was another instance where they were looking for Detroit. And where she was dropped off, she was 1 block from Detroit. We border River Rouge and Southwest Detroit. I might add this, at no time was she in any danger. She was, I might add this, she could not do this alone, and was at no time was she never out of the company of a friendly. So they were attempting to get to Detroit, and I guess their calculations were a little off. They were 1 street off, and she wound up in Ecorse.
Okay, that leads to another question. Is that person who helped her, him or her, got her to Ecorse, is that person facing some type of criminal?
That's going to be up to Monroe County.
Do you know if that person has been talked to, that investigators know?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. But she obviously had somebody help her get to here.
Do you think that she realizes the severity of what she has done in your conversations with her?
I didn't have much conversation with her. I had a conversation with the parents, and I'm quite sure she probably will know. If she doesn't know now, she certainly will soon.
Anything you guys think we're missing at all that would be important to point out? Hope this sends a message to people.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope in regards that anybody that concoct a story or decide they want to do something in this, to think twice about it, because the city of Ecorse, and I'm sure Monroe County, are not going to just let you walk away, and if you're unable to pay, somebody's going to have to pay, whether it be your parents or whoever,
And right now she's back with her parents?
Yes, she's been with her parents since we recovered her.
And we did contact our city attorney, naturally, and they gave us direction, and we will be writing this up and forwarding it to Wayne County Prosecutor's Office on our end also.
I know when she was found, she had scratches on her and things like that. Did she do that to herself to make the story seem more real, or?
I think she was interviewed by Officer Graham, who stated that upon viewing her leg, she seen old cut marks in the same area, and we found it odd that somebody would cut you in the same area that you've been cut in. You know, so yeah,
So she cut herself.
yeah,
wanted to-
I would think so.
Chief, just for the tape, name and spelling, please.
Mike Moore, common spelling M-O-O-R-E.
Good? We're good?
Thank you.
Thank you guys, appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem.